This weekend, Arkansas will host the number 4 team in the country, Texas A&M. And in my opinion, the Aggies are a really good football team that should make the college football playoffs and that might even win the SEC. Objectively speaking, this is not a game the Razorbacks should win. However, I do believe that if they can build upon their performance last week in Knoxville, if they can clean some things up, if they can avoid the turnovers which have killed them all season long, if defensively they can minimize the chunk plays and hopefully force a turnover or two of their own and win that turnover battle for once, I do think they can give themselves a solid shot. I do think that they can make this an interesting four-quarter game and potentially have themselves once again in a position to pull off an upset. However, therein lies the problem with Arkansas. They have not been able to do these things against quality competition to this point in the season. So it's hard to have confidence that they will against arguably the best opponent they've faced so far. But as I said, if they can come into this game mentally prepared enough, if they can build upon some of the good things they were able to do at Tennessee last weekend, if they can execute at a high enough level, they absolutely are capable of at least competing with the Aggies and even giving themselves a real shot at pulling off this upset. Do I think that's likely to happen? No. I think it's more likely that A&M wins this game by double digits. What I am, however, saying is that despite how many may view Arkansas, they are better. They are more capable than what they've shown to this point in the season. We have yet to see the full potential, the ceiling of this football team. And if they can get closer to that ceiling and to playing to their full potential this weekend, I would not be shocked if this is a competitive four-quarter game and if the Razorbacks once again find themselves at least in a position to win the game. Against Notre Dame, Arkansas undoubtedly looked like a team that had let go of the rope, so to speak. I did not see that same team. I did not see that same mentality from them last weekend against Tennessee. They looked a lot more mentally prepared. They looked a lot more dialed in, focused, and hungry. And had they not, as I alluded to at the beginning, once again killed themselves with turnovers, losing that turnover battle 3-0, there's a really great chance they'd be fresh off a big win rather than another close loss. But the way that the team was able to get up off the mat and perform the way they did against a quality opponent on the road in an extremely hostile environment was a very promising sign. And I'll say this, I am not among those ready to crown Bobby Petrino the next head coach. And I wouldn't say that he should automatically be handed the job if we beat Texas A&M either, but I don't think there's any denying it would be a massive statement for Coach Petrino if he could rally this team in the middle of the season and get them from playing like the underachieving group that lost to Memphis and got curb stomped at home against Notre Dame to a group that's prepared and executing at a high enough level to compete at number 11 Tennessee and against number 4 Texas A&M, especially if they are able to get over the hump this time and actually pull off the upset. A win this weekend would have to significantly shift mine and I'm sure many others' confidence level in Bobby Petrino as the next head coach at Arkansas. Under the best of circumstances, a win over this playoff caliber Aggies team would be impressive. Under the Razorbacks' current circumstances, a win over the Aggies would be beyond impressive. Am I expecting that to happen? No. Would I be overly shocked if it did happen? No. I could honestly see this game going a variety of different ways, but usually when these two programs face off on the gridiron, you can at least expect an interesting battle, and that's somewhat what I'm anticipating again this weekend. But I would love to hear what y'all think. Let me know in the comment section.